Hi, I'm really excited for today because someone from Ohuhu reached out to me on Instagram and they sent me this set of 72 colors in a colorless blender from their Honolulu set for free. And not only that, they also sent me a pack of fineliners, like 8 fineliners. One has a brush tip, which is exciting. And I hope this is not too loud, but I don't know how people do ASMR. Like, it's so satisfying to watch. This marker pad with 60 shades, which is a lot. I already had one of their marker pads, actually 2. I had a hardbound and I had one of the ring bound ones, but it's an A4 one, so this is a bit more chunky. And I've never tried their markers before, but I tried other markers, so but I'm excited, so I'll just open this up and then show you the markers. Okay. let's just try to make this. Oh god, I'm scared. I'm really incompetent. Oh, okay. This is sad. It's probably not satisfying. I'm probably cutting this out. Anyways, if you open a sketchbook up, it comes with this little protection sheet you can put behind the paper to avoid bleed through. Even though from experience with other markers, it wasn't too bad. So, I mean, I will still use it though. Anyways, onto the markers. Okay, I just opened this up, but essentially you have another protection pad for thin paper, or I guess any sketchbook you want to use this in, or paper. And you have 2 Swatch sheets. Here we have the focus, we have the colorless blender, and the other markers. So this comes with a brush tip and a chisel tip, so basically a broad tip or broad nib and the beloved brush tip. Yeah, let's swatch these. Swatching these was really fun. I was so excited to see potato brown because I really remember back when I was in school and I saw Ohuhu markers around for the first times. I think I saw Drawing with Waffles use them first, and then maybe Doodle Date. Like, those are the 2 that I remember. Like, I know a lot of people reviewed these markers, so I'm really excited to actually use them. But I remember how excited Doodle Date was to swatch Potato Brown because of the name, and yeah, it was nice to see Potato Brown in person. But my first thought was pretty much that I felt like I was missing a bright punchy yellow on the swatch card, but I should have swatched them on the marker pad too, but I didn't do that. So the yellows look way more vibrant, which might be due to the whiteness of the paper. Like, it's a very cool toned white. So coming to the actual drawing footage, I skipped the sketching section pretty much because I feel like just doing line art the way I do line art is pretty much just sketching twice. I keep my line art pretty sketchy because that's just the way I like it, basically. But I love when people have really clean, neat, delicate line art too. That's beautiful, but it just doesn't really work for my style. So, okay, so my initial thoughts when I saw all the colors swatched out was that I felt a little overwhelmed, to be honest. I mean, 72 markers is a lot, and since you can also blend and mix them, that means you have a lot of colors ready to be used and combine. And I don't really use that many colors in my art in general. Like, I use color schemes of maybe 5 to 7 colors and a few accent colors or colors to blend in the shading, and yeah. So including every single color would be a little much for a single drawing. My initial thought was doing something like the 6 fan arts challenge, since it would be a way to incorporate most of these, but I just wasn't really feeling it. Then I asked myself what really inspired me last year. Maybe that's something that I don't always draw. The colors in the set are pretty much divided into equal amounts of cool and warm shades, very bright colors, and then there are grays. I don't really use grays that much because grays are a little intimidating to me, so I decided to use them for some of the shadows. Well, and skin tones, like you will see in a bit. I know that one of the series that inspired me a lot was Bee and Puppycat. The backgrounds look so fun and detailed, and the show has a lot of gorgeous color palettes and, of course, characters. I adore Bee's puffy hair, her bee sweater, Puppycat's grumpy little face. I know I laughed a lot and I cried a few times. I love the original series that you can still watch on here, the Netflix version too. Like, I really like the elements that they added to it, but also how you can still watch the original series and see how the art style looked at first and how it changed just a little bit. But yeah, so the episode I was inspired from in this drawing was from the birthday episode. I just checked that. It's episode 5. And there's a little arcade place they go to with the stunning purple-blue setting. I wish I scaled this a little bit different to be able to fit in more of the elements in that episode, but I wanted to keep this focused on the characters because I think that's what people are usually more interested in when it comes to my art personally. And I mean, I never tried out these markers, so I wasn't sure how I can work with them or like what the quirks are, I guess. Yeah, there are lots of stars dangling from the ceiling in the actual episode, and I thought that was really cute and fitting for my own art. I did that a lot during Inktober, even though I did Peachtober, so I just kept on doing that afterwards. I definitely had a lot of fun using all of these blue tones, and I think the purples were really useful for shading, but also on their own. I generally use a lot of purples, teals, and pinks, especially when it comes to that, so the given range was really nice. I think some of the pinks were a little similar though. They were more like cooler tone pinks and like really vibrant cooler tone pinks, so I don't know, like maybe have some little like blushy kind of pastel pink would be kind of nice, but I know there are pastel sets, so I think this range works for this set. Like, it's very vibrant and punchy, and on the other side you have those like more pastel-y teals and greens that have, I don't know, they look really nice, and I would love to use them in another drawing at some point because I couldn't really incorporate them too much in here. I tried to put some of those greens in the shading of skin tone, for example, or in the hair. I think in the hair I added I don't know if it was mint green light or turquoise green light. I mispronounced that. I think I mispronounced it. I'm sorry. Also, if you don't have other marker sets, you might be missing a couple of skin tones. If you want to either go very light or very dark, even though there are some brown tones and a lot of oranges and a lot of pinks and purples or blues, so you could absolutely mix that. I kind of did that myself. I just mixed in some sort of really light gray into the skin tone to cool it down a little bit. Like, it looked very orange at some point. I think on camera it looked a little bit more acceptable, but it bothered me quite a lot when it came to the color palette I choose for most of the piece. Even though there are some yellows and oranges, so it wasn't that off in that way, but I think in the episode, like the little screen capture I had in mind, like I think you could see me choose something on Pinterest at some point in the video. The skin tone was very, very light and cool toned, just like the hair. Like her hair in it usually is brown, but it was very bluish in that episode that inspired me, so I tried to make it more blue. And I don't think you can really see that there's gray in the skin, so that worked well, and I really like that, and I'm interested in seeing how I can incorporate more grays into my art at some point, so I could do that for another video maybe. So yeah, this video is slowly coming to an end, and I want to thank Ohuhu again for giving me this opportunity, reaching out to me, sending me these art supplies, and I have to say I absolutely love the fineliners. And I mean, I kept in the process of lining because I think it was kind of satisfying. Like, it was definitely satisfying to use because the ink seems really smooth. They seem really like, I don't want to say juicy because I don't know, it feels weird to say juicy to fine liners, but I didn't have problems with any dry liner or struggling to get the ink consistent and everything like that, you know. So I really like them, and I like that they are marker and waterproof because I use watercolors a lot, so I might use them for other sketchbooks too. I will definitely use them for other sketchbooks too. I love that brush. I love that brush tip, yeah. Just give it a few minutes to dry, just to be sure, and I think you'll be fine. One last thing, I received a 10% off coupon code on the marker set for you to use. So I'll list that in the description with everything that I used in this video. Thank you for watching, and check out Ohuhu, and maybe check me out on Instagram. I'm way more active on there. See you soon for a sketchbook tour or something else, whatever I post the next time.